Hey there, welcome to day 78 of our BU 365-day challenge. Do one thing every day that improves us. I like to say continuously improves, but sometimes we don't do things that improve us forever. We just do things that improve us for the moment, for the day. Now, today we're going to talk about the subject of memory. Again, like neuro-linguistic programming and things, I've not studied a lot about memory, just what I needed as I've needed it to move my life in the direction I want it to go. We're continuing our focus for the entire month of March, this segment, on mental well-being, mental health. So what the heck is memory? What types of memory are there? And how can we improve our memory? Most of us, especially as we're getting older, would like to improve our memory. And memory to me is more than memorizing things like we did in school. And we've all done that, right? We've all memorized our math facts. We've all memorized vocabulary, spelling words. We've all memorized things like that. Remember those spelling tests we used to take every Monday or every Friday? We'd get the words on Monday, we'd take a practice test, then Friday we'd take the real test for a grade. I'm sure I was not the only one that took spelling tests in school. So what are the different types of memory? I love the internet because if you research something on the internet these days, which is the greatest source of information imaginable, I mean, wish we would have had the internet when I was in college and studying and learning different things. It's information at our fingertips from sources we normally wouldn't even have access to. Now, we could argue about are the algorithms filtering out information? And I would say they definitely are, because it's changed in the last couple of years versus before when I would research topics, but it doesn't matter. A lot of the algorithms are showing videos and ads and things more regularly. They can do whatever they want. That's their business. But it's still a great tool for us to begin our search into different topics or anything we would ever want to know. And I'm going to cough again. For some reason, I get a weird throat some mornings. I will sip coffee and try to talk. So what my point is, sometimes I'll look something up and it'll say, these are the 2 types of memory. These are the 2 main types of memory. These are the 4 types. These are the 6 types. These are the 8 types. And if you let it, it could be very confusing. I choose not to let it. I choose to get a quick overview of a bunch of different sources. It's like if I'm studying a topic. I won't just read one book on the topic. I'll get a whole bunch of books on the topic so that I know I'm not just getting one author's opinion on a subject. It's just like anything else. It's like watching only one news station or one social media all the time for all the information and thinking that that's a clear representation of the entire world, the entire planet. It's absolutely not. We have to get many sources to feed our memory the things we want. So what are the 2 sources? The 2 types of memory are short-term and long-term. So they can divide memory into our memories that happen and we remember a phone number. That would be short-term memory, or long-term. Then there's the working memory, the sensory memory, the short-term and long-term. That's the 4. And then the 8 were working, sensory, short-term, long-term, implicit, explicit, and I had to look those up. Autobiographical, okay, let's see if I can see this. Autobiographical memory, and then something called memory and Morpheus, which I still don't understand. I started to research it, and then we got company, so I was like, I'll just say I don't understand it, because I don't understand it. And do I need to? I think it's got something to do with memory and how our memory changes when we sleep, whether it's enhanced or not enhanced. And there's scientific arguments about it, but it seems scientists believe now that as we sleep, they used to believe that when we slept, we lost memories and we lost detailed information. I don't think I believe that either. But now scientists believe that as we sleep, our brain organizes and works on the information that we've gathered through the day and files it away in our brains. However, our brain decides to file it away. Now, what the heck even is memory? Let me read a little definition of this. Memory is our continued process of info retention over time. So does our memory increase over time or decrease over time? It depends on the individual. Believed by most scientists that it's an integral part of human cognition. That means our thinking, since it allows individual human beings to recall and draw upon past events to frame their understanding behavior within the present moment. So we're the only beings that can, and I don't know that that's true either. I think that animals based on instinct and experience can behave differently in when faced with that same experience again. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that scientific belief is that humans are the ones that have all the thinking and all the reasoning ability, and that again, I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole can of worms. And I don't know. I'm not a brain scientist. So implicit memory versus explicit memory. Implicit memory is the automatic way that we remember everything. Everything that our senses, our 5 or 6 senses, ever pick up and ever experience from probably before we're born, from the moment we're conceived on, is stored in our implicit memory. We don't have any conscious recall, or we may have very little conscious recall of all the things that are saved and stored by our magnificent brains and minds. Everything is stored. So everything we see, feel, taste, touch, hear, think, believe, that every experience we've ever had, it's all absorbed and stored in our brain somewhere, stored away in our mind somewhere, in our memory. That's our implicit memory. We don't necessarily have the ability to recall that. If someone asks us a question, we can't necessarily say how we were feeling on March 6th, 2020, right? Who knows, right? Who knows what we were doing on March 6th of 2020? I don't know. It was a week before my birthday, my 60th birthday, so I have no idea what I was doing. I was probably doing what I always do, or mostly my usual daily routines. So explicit memory is the memory that we can recall and describe to someone else. If you witness an event, an experience, or a crime or something, or you have an experience, it's what you can explicitly remember and really put into words and share, either in writing or with other people, about something in your life. Autobiographical is, I think of it as our lifeline exercise, the one we talked about a while back, where we can describe the milestone points to us from our past. And it's the memories we have of certain events in our life that are easy to recall because it was either an experience or a highly charged emotional event or something that we keep in mind and is actually impacting us as we move forward throughout our life. So again, there's a bunch of different types of memory. Working memory is probably the one we think of the most because it's short term. It's very short term. We can temporarily put information in there, but it's how we reason things out. It's how we make decisions. It guides our decision making because we pull up all the facts from our subconscious and the information we need, and we store it in our working memory, our short-term memory, and we use it to make decisions and choices, and then we do the thing, we take the action on the thing we do, and then it all goes back into our long-term memory storage, right? And it gets added to, maybe, depending on the event, our autobiographical memory. So it's just like anything else, any other framework. We can look at things any way we want to. The most important way is how we see it, how you see it, how I see it. But other people are going to categorize things, and you can decide which categorization feels best for you. To me, short-term and long-term is good enough, right? For my purposes, my personal purposes of memory and understanding memory. And bottom line, I don't need to know or understand any of my brain or how it works. I just want to know how to improve my memory. So I looked up, well, how do we improve our memory? And I found a study of 7 tips from Mayo Clinic. And then, of course, I continued to search and I found 12 tips and 15 tips and 10 tips. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going with Mayo Clinic. Good, reliable source of well-being and wellness information. We'll go with their list. So from Mayo Clinic, they say, how do we improve our memory? 7 tips. 1, include physical activity in your daily routine, in your daily activity. Make sure you're getting up and moving physically every single day. Why? Because moving physically increases our blood flow to every part of our body, including our brain. Number 2, stay mentally active. I say read, watch, engage, think for yourself every day. Do things, do crossword puzzles, do any kind of puzzle, do word searches, do anything that keeps your brain engaged. Something that you can read and think about or remember events. Maybe you write or journal every day. Any of those type of activities could help to keep you mentally active. 3, socialize regularly. Get involved with other people. Have conversations. Don't be a hermit. Make sure that you're engaging with other people. 4, get organized. 5, sleep well. 6, eat a healthy diet, and 7, manage chronic conditions like stress, perhaps, or any chronic illnesses, pain, or any health challenges or mental challenges, especially since we're talking about mental this week. If you're in a constant situation of stress or relationships, manage those situations so that they are not having such a negative or any negative impact on you. Now, if you think about this list, it's a similar list we've seen in other areas and aspects of our life, right? How do we stay physically and emotionally better? How do we improve our physical well-being? How do we improve our emotional well-being? How do we improve our mental well-being? Similar list each time, right? So what's cool about that is if I created some habits in my physical and my emotional well-being, they carry over and they impact my mental well-being as well. So today our action item is just to share one way, one strategy, one thing that you have done in the past or currently do to increase your memory, to help you remember things. Mine is, if I want to remember it, if it's important, I got to write it down. If I don't write it down, it's lost in a second. If I have an idea or a thought about something or a solution to a problem that I've been working on for a while, and if I don't write it down, as soon as it pops in my head, guess what? About 20 seconds later, it's gone and I won't be able to remember it. So my memory strategy is to write things down. Share one thing that you do in the comments below, and I will be with you tomorrow for another topic in our mental well-being for this segment of our annual challenge. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow.